You know, the more time I've had to think about this, the more I've realized just how odd, weird, funny even, the timing of it truly is.
That's what you say you're all about. You're all about axing the carbon tax. So why won't you say whether you support this tax break for Canadians?
Well, because I haven't read the bill yet, so you had to know. What you've read is a press release.
Welcome back to Over Opinionated with Jasmine Lane. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and also comment your thoughts down below. Isn't it just weird to you, the fact that Justin Trudeau, one day after Randy Boissonnault, the other Randy, who knows who the hell is Randy, could the real Randy please stand up, is removed from the House so he can focus on his allegations. You know, there's been a whole lot of things in the mix there. We got being tied to narcotic smugglers. Justin Trudeau does blackface, and I guess now we have Indigenous face. And Randy Boissonnault also has been involved in several scandals and fraud. His company is literally being investigated. This is not a good guy. But you know what? It's something I've long said. You become the company that you keep, and the company Justin Trudeau keeps is very, very telling. So just the other day, they announced this big fancy rebate of $250 that will be going into the bank accounts of every Canadian who's filed their taxes that makes under $150,000 annually. On top of that, where they will be cutting the GST charged on everyday essential items, specifically around the holiday season, not on your gas, not on your bills, no, but on things like ordering takeout food and stocking stuffer items. And the timing of this really does tell you everything that you need to know. I will never put it past the woke radical leftists to completely manipulate and abuse the people of which they swore an oath to serve and protect. But could they have tried to hide the devilish details a little bit better? Yeah, probably. But when you're acting maliciously and you're really stupid, you usually think you're really smart in how you go about things.
My first question for you, will you be voting against this?
Well, we're going to read over the bill when it comes forward. What we know so far is that it's a tiny 2-month tax trick to distract from Trudeau's plan to quadruple the carbon tax on heat and housing, food and fuel. That will cost thousands of dollars to every single family and will be a permanent tax hike if he's reelected. So a 2-month temporary tax trick will not compensate for a 61 cent a liter carbon tax. It's interesting, this whole gimmick comes to an end in February. What happens in April? Well, Trudeau's carbon tax goes up another 20%, and that will raise the cost of gas, heat, and then indirectly everything that comes in a truck. If you got it, a truck brought it. And when you jack up the tax on the fuel those truckers put in their vehicles, you jack up food, heat, clothing, everything you buy. So my plan is, let's axe the carbon tax permanently to bring home affordable prices for Canadians.
Just to be clear here, will you vote against the measure, though, if it's brought in the House of Commons? Is that a yes or a no?
We'll decide. Our caucus meets next Wednesday, and we'll pick up the piece of legislation, read it over, and decide what's best for Canadians. We know that we have a better plan, which is to axe the carbon tax. Also, take GST off new homes under $1 million permanently. Save you 50 grand on a new home. We're going to push the provinces to do that as well. Take the PST, or the provincial sales tax. That would save over $100,000 on a new home. That's the kind of conservative tax cut that will be permanent when I'm Prime Minister.
You've just told me all the ways that you support giving Canadians a tax break and making life more affordable. That's what you say you're all about. You're all about axing the carbon tax. So why won't you say whether you support this tax break for Canadians?
This right here is so golden, by the way, because she very clearly is trying to kind of trip him up. And look at how brilliantly he answers. This, my dear, is such an epic response.
Well, because I haven't read the bill yet, so you had to know. What you've read is a press release, and I don't vote for press releases. I don't vote for Justin Trudeau's press conferences, and what we know is that you can't believe anything Trudeau says about taxes. Remember, he said you'd be better off with the carbon tax, and then his parliamentary budget officer came out and said that every single middle-class family will pay more in the tax than they get back in rebates. Remember, he said he'd help the middle class, and now middle-class people are lined up at food banks and housing costs have doubled. So it's not enough for me to believe what he says. I have to know what's in the actual bill. And when I do, I'll make a decision and do the right thing.
I wonder what message you're sending to Canadians, Mr. Poilievre, when you say you're all about axing the tax, you're all about bringing taxes down, making life more affordable, and in the same breath you say you're not sure you're going to support a tax break for Canadians at a time when they're struggling so badly.
Why are they struggling so badly? It's been 9 years that Trudeau's promised to make them better off. And here we are. You're right. They are struggling so badly. And I think your own words are a condemnation of his track record, with food prices rising 37% faster in Canada than they have in the United States, just as the carbon tax came in. Housing costs doubled. Here we are in Toronto, where you have to earn well over $200,000 to afford a home. That was never the case before Justin Trudeau ran money printing and immigration out of control, before he built up all these bureaucracies that block home building. Clearly, Canadians are struggling. Justin Trudeau is the problem. He's not the solution. What we need is a common sense plan for permanent tax cuts. Axe the carbon tax, axe the GST on new homes, and slash the bureaucracy and waste to bring down deficits, interest rates, and inflation.
There's a couple of really important details about this that I want you to think about. Number one, isn't it weird to you how one day after Randy Boissonnault is removed from the House to focus on all of his fraud and allegations and everything that is just ripping him to shreds right now, because it turns out, as I've said plenty of times, that you can fool a lot of people for a long time, but you cannot fool everybody forever. And the truth always prevails in the battle of good and evil. And then all of a sudden they're like, shoot, we really don't want people talking about this anymore because it's making us look really bad. What do we do? Oh, here we go. GST cut. And we're also going to give people making less than $150,000 a year a little bit of help by giving them a payment. Oh, okay, cool. And now everybody's talking about that. But the thing about that is that those proposals from the Liberal government have to first pass in the House. And the House has been deadlocked for a very long time because the Trudeau government refuses to hand over unredacted documents detailing where the money went in the green slush fund scandal, a total of over 400 million taxpayer dollars that seemingly disappeared into nothing. Because, well, we haven't had anything new, no new initiatives really being brought up, but we did have a lot of Trudeau insiders get very, very rich during that same period of time, and they will not give those documents out. They blame the Conservatives for it, though. They say the Conservatives are the ones who are the real problem here for trying to get to the bottom of this. And on top of the fact that they wanted to shut up all of the discussion around Randy Boissonnault, now they're also very intentionally, I presume, putting the Conservatives into an interesting spot, because the only way that this will pass in the House and it will actually come, this relief will actually come, is if the Conservatives and other party leaders agree to seize all of the conversations happening about the Green Slush Fund, to allow for this in and to allow for more discussions about this. And if the Conservatives choose not to do that, how do you think the Liberals are going to paint it? Well, of course, they're going to say, the Conservatives are the bad guys. Look at us. We just wanted to give you your own money back. We're so nice to you. But the Conservatives, no, they're the bad guys. They don't want to give you a GST break. No, they don't want to give you a $250 paycheck, which does put the Conservatives in a very interesting place. But I would like to think that Pierre Poilievre has a good enough head on his shoulders where he would be able to rebut that in a pretty good way. Like, to me, there is no way that this isn't the Liberal government trying to do everything they possibly can to avoid taking accountability for the Green Slush Fund and to have that matter swept under the rug. And they will do a very great job, mark my words, in slandering anybody who's against it as being against the people of Canada, while the Liberals are the good, mighty saviors of this country. Additionally, my final point on this is the simple fact that they also seemingly admitted that they have created an economic situation so horrendous in this country that even people with an income of $150,000 a year or lower are also struggling so bad that they too need help. That is how bad the situation has become in Canada. Those are my 2 cents. Very curious on yours, as well as what you thought about this epic speech from Pierre Poilievre. This man never ceases to impress me. I'm not somebody who has a ton of faith in the government to begin with. I think that it's very easy for people to, even when they start off with the best of intentions, get corrupted very quickly when they're in positions of authority, such as prime minister, and have access to so much funding and opportunities and whatever, like you do when you're at such a prestigious role in the country. But having said that, there's something about Pierre Poilievre that just really resonates. I like how he talks to us. And I appreciate his demeanor and his ability to answer things and have those hard conversations, and more than anything, really take a stand on the things that so many other leaders are so scared to take a stand on. I'm Jasmine Lane. Thanks for watching another episode of Over Opinionated. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your thoughts down below, and I will talk to you tomorrow.